guys, welcome back to LegalEdge 3 Years LLB YouTube channel. How's the Josh? How's everyone doing? So I think the primary agenda behind taking this session is we were getting a lot of queries कि कौन से exams target करें, कौन से exams target नहीं करें, how to decide which exams to target, and which fairly makes sense also. You'll find this video, you'll find yourself watching this video in either of the two scenarios. या तो pretty much decide कर चुके हो कि कौन सा entrance exam target करना है, या फिर so you're like in your second year, final year of graduation, figuring out what next to do in life, or you're already a graduate and figuring out the next step in your career trajectory. So in either of the two scenarios, this video is going to be extremely helpful for you to set a foundation, a base for yourself, which exams to pick, and we'll also touch a little on is 3-year LLB, 3-year law career upgrade for you. So before I proceed on with the important details and everything, we delve right into the important details. A little background. So India में law दो तरीके से कर सकते हो, which is the 5-year route or the 3-year route. Now 5-year route is right after class 12th, CLAT, AIAT, other law entrances like MHCET, etc. And then the 3-year route for which you're eligible post-graduation. Now, off late, you'll see a lot of students, a lot of graduates opting for 3-year LLB entrances. It's again diversifying your career and considering more options in terms of how you intend to upgrade your career. Now, currently, क्या होता है that after graduation, you either think of, you select either of the three things, which is say like उसी field में masters or MBA, or a huge chunk also then prepares for government exams. Now, all of these three options have their own pros and cons. If you go for masters, you miss out on a professional degree. MBA, again, very skewed return on investments, the paper pattern syllabus, government exams, uncertainty. Law is a booming career option, fourth career option that graduates must consider. And throughout the session, we'll also understand as to why these are like the primary factors which you should consider, parameters that you should factor in while making that choice. The choice has to be, say, like extremely objective in nature. So let's quickly move forward. These are the things that we'll cover in this session. Briefly upon that, is 3-year LLB the right career upgrade for you? Factors to consider when choosing which exams to target. Then entrance exams, will pick up a couple of entrance exams that are to be targeted in 2027 and go through them in detail, and why you should essentially be targeting a pool of entrance examinations and not just keep your options limited to say like one entrance examination, one college. And a little context also, for the 3 years LLB, each college/university, they conduct their own entrance examination. Let's quickly move forward. Meanwhile, like any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to take them up. And the more you'll ask questions, you'll like them. And if you find this like extremely insightful, do share it with your friends, family, peers, and yeah, of course, like, subscribe, comment. Okay, moving on from the drill. Is 3-year LLB a right career upgrade for you? Well, a big yes to it in all caps. Again, diverse career opportunities. You can enter law firms, litigation, clerkship, academics. These are very conventional things. Judiciary, again, a conventional set of choices. But other than that as well, think tanks. There are a lot of think tanks like now Niti Aayog, CUET, Vidhi, etc. So a lot of other career opportunities. So it really does amplifies, your access to opportunities. So diverse career options. Plus, it's a professional degree. So, if at all, I have a lot of students who are alongside preparing for, say, like CDS, UPSC, FCAT, etc. So, it's a professional degree that you can always fall back upon. So, it becomes a very, very strong, solid plan for you. Then, opportunities across multiple domains, growing demand for lawyers, no matter which aspect, AI, finance, technology, anything and everything today needs to be assessed from a legal perspective, and there is a booming demand for lawyers. plus strong return on investment. So the maximum cap also for a national law school, the fees that they're charging is approximately around 15 lakhs or so. And you have a chance at securing a job at anywhere between 19 to 23 lakhs. Fresh law graduates, yeah, getting placements at tier one law firms, you have a shot at making anything between 19 to 23 lakhs. So very strong return on investment. You talk about colleges like GLC, Delhi University, extremely low fees, and however gives you access to opportunities, platform to opportunities wherein you can get very super high placements. So it definitely is a career upgrade, and you should consider if you're like confused what to do next after graduation. Then roughly we'll just go through the factors that you should consider before opting, deciding on which examinations to target. College reputation, extremely important, and all colleges that we'll essentially be covering in that I'll also be suggesting are eminence, prominent colleges that you should be targeting. Then competition, number of seats, etc. And that is why we'll also come to why you should not restrict yourself to one college slash university. Fees and return on investment, of course, you also have to see the kind of financial background that you come from and the kind of investment that you make. But that can also, but that one aspect of it is also scholarship. So a lot of colleges provide scholarships. So that essentially is an aid that you get. Placements and career opportunities. Now, location and internship opportunities, again, an extremely important aspect of it because, say, for instance, if you're from North, you wouldn't really intend to move extreme south, or from south, you wouldn't intend to move north. So, vice versa. Plus, you also have to see that whether the place would be accessible or not. Say, for instance, if you take up a college in south, you have to move to north for internships, or maybe say like Delhi, Bombay. That way, how accessible it is. So once you're actually factoring in investment, your investment, just do not restrict yourself only to the tuition fees, but all of these factors. That what if you move out of your home, you have to take up hostels, then a lifestyle there, then back and forth for traveling, for internships, etc. Alumni network, extremely important. Law is a field, it thrives on networking. So the bigger the alumni base, it's basically you'll have people who have done something before you and you'll have a path that you can access. Then paper pattern and syllabus, it is one of the primary factors because now you're at that stage, you're already a graduate, you're about to graduate, you know your strengths and weaknesses. And then of course your career goals and preference. Say, for instance, I see a lot of my students who wanted to pursue litigation, they specifically opted for Delhi University because of the locational advantage that it has, that you have Supreme Court, High Court, and then you would know Supreme Court and High Court, but then there's beyond as well, that you have tribunals, NCLT, etc. Think tanks again, policy research centers. So they specifically opt for Delhi University because that's the kind of locational advantage that it offers. So all of these factors. Moving on, now primarily bifurcated all major law entrances for you. I have not covered the southern ones like AP, Kerala, TS, but roughly the entrances that you should be targeting. Now, national law schools, NLSIU for National Law School Bangalore, CNLU Patna, and National Law School Odisha. Now, DSNLU Vishakhapatnam also offers 3-year LLB program, but I've primarily placed it under the category of other prominent law schools. So I've done national law schools and other prominent law schools that also in say like priority 1 and priority 2. Why here? Because a lot of students at times are like little apprehensive to move south because of say traveling or just not comfortable, maybe say like culturally, etc. So that is why priority 1. These 3 national law schools you should definitely target. Plus this Symbiosis Pune, must target. Then MHCET, GLC Mumbai, ILS Pune. These are great colleges, huge alumni base, great brand value, and returns on investment are really high. Then, of course, Delhi University, one of the oldest, BHU. I've also highlighted IIT Kharagpur here. A lot of you might not know that IIT KGP also offers 3 years law program. Again, one of the most prominent institutes. It also offers LLM. So LLM and LLB both. The eligibility is slightly strict, that you need a bachelor's. So the different eligibility criteria is in OR. So bachelor in select science, you can go through it, and we'll also make like a very detailed video on it so that you have all information at one place. But again, IIT KGP, it offers specialization, IP law. So you would see that a lot of students to leverage their actually undergrad. So very interestingly, there's also an interview available on our YT channel. Deepika, she'll be joining IIT KGP this year, and she's done her undergrad in embryology, etc. And she wanted to foray into IVF, that niche. So now she wants to do a lot of legal aspect of it so that they can then prioritize the niche area here. So that's how a lot of students leverage their undergrad and supplement it with law. So IP law honors, again, booming industry, so a lot to learn and a lot to utilize it for in your career upgrade. And then you can priority two can be Allahabad, Bharati Vidyapeeth, and Punjab University. So roughly this is how your prioritization should look like, and you should be targeting a pool of examinations. Why? See, a safety net against uncertainty. Once we'll actually come to the number of seats, you will see that these exams are extremely competitive in nature. So it's always good to say like a little cognitive relief and be targeting a pool and a bucket of examinations. Then it basically you're maximizing your returns and reduced pressure. So it takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders. You will not constantly be worrying about, oh, what if I don't? What if I don't? So it's like having a couple of entrances that you're targeting, and there is generally an overlap with, of course, peculiar demands of each entrance examination. But once you're actually targeting a bucket of examinations, a lot of pressure is off your shoulders, and then you can have all your focus on your preparation. Let's quickly, I'll pick up a couple of entrances, and whichever entrance that you want me to like create a very detailed video, please in the comment section. Drop the name of the examination in the comment section. So NLSAT, 3-year LLB program, NLSIU Bangalore, one of the coveted law schools, offers both 5-year and 3-year program, LLM also. And it's a dream law school for all law aspirants out there. 120 seats, extremely competitive examination with roughly 42, 43 seats for the general category. Happens in offline mode, pen paper. Has part A, 75 questions objective. Part B, which is a written component, has 5 case studies and one analytical essay. 150 minutes duration. You get +1 for each correct, and 12 marks for each case study and 15 marks for the analytical essay. And it's one of those unique papers which has a negative of 0.25 for not just for incorrect but unattempted questions too. And what it tests is your critical reasoning, English, GK, and legal. So not per se in part B, but of course there can always be something from current legal knowledge. It really helps with answering case studies. Now quickly coming to CNLU, Chanakya National Law University, Patna, again one of the most prominent law schools, offers 5-year, 3-year LLM program as well, has 60 seats. I have like really high expectations from the management. The current VC had initially headed Hyderabad, and they'd introduced their program last year. Again, very promising access to opportunities. It's a pen paper based test, 120 questions, happens in offline mode, +1 for correct and 0.25 for negative. The syllabus is also aptitudes, where you get general awareness, logical reasoning, and English. And general awareness is slightly on the tougher end because it is pari materia to UPSC GS1 paper. Again, one of the law schools that you should definitely be targeting, has a huge alumni base, a great reputation, and offers placements. Quickly coming to National Law School, Odisha, again offers 5-year, 3-year LLM, has been growing year on year, a total of 60 seats, 120 questions, happens in offline mode, +1 for correct. There's no negative marking. You can take note of this specifically. And then again, general English, general awareness, and general reasoning. So you would observe in patterns that all of these examinations are largely aptitude based. The SNLU, Visakhapatnam, approximately 132 seats. Again, 100 questions, offline mode, 100 marks, +1 for correct. Take note, no negative marking. And one of those unique examinations specifically writes general knowledge, legal aptitude, and current affairs separately. Just to highlight, you want to explore batches, prepare for these entrance examinations. We have a new batches coming on this 7th of July, the links of which you'll find in the description box. Please explore. And for that matter, you need any help deciding on to which exams to target, how to prepare. If, and even if you just generally want to discuss that if 3 years is the right choice for you, or you should be charting a different career plan, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to counsel you and help you take the most objective decision. CUET, again, Delhi University, BHU, roughly these are the seats. For DU, you have, say, like Campus Law Center, the main campus, then CLC, LC1, LC2, and for CLC, roughly the seats are like 1,000. 75 questions, +4 for each, -1 for correct. You have English, logical, computer, aptitude, GK. One of those unique examinations again, which tests you on computers and maths. Lot of information overload. So I hope guys share it with all those who you feel this session will be extremely helpful for. Now MHCET primarily. So MHCET again, a couple of colleges, but the ones that I specifically ask students to target is JLC Mumbai, ILS Pune, seat bifurcation on your seats. Paper pattern, your 120 questions, +1 for each correct answer, no negative marking. And then logical, GK, and legal as well, and English. So again, GLC Mumbai has a huge alumni base, one of the most coveted colleges, one of the dream law schools for a lot of law aspirants out there. And in fact, a very interesting YT is available on our YT channel, wherein I've interviewed this kid. He has graduated from GLC Mumbai, and why he opted law over MBA, something is very beautifully articulated. Go listen to it, will give you a lot of perspective and help you make a career choice. SLS, Symbiosis Law School, offers both 5-year, 3-year, 60 seats. They've been doing, if my memory serves well, they've been doing 3 years since 2014 now. Now, paper pattern, they have MCQ based test. Then, so their one paper has both components, MCQ and a subjective test. You have to write 2 essays, and then there's interview round as well. Happens in CBT mode. Written exam is at 70 marks. Then you have roughly, then which out of which 40 marks are your essay, 20 marks for your MCQs, and then your 10 marks is psychometric test, and then your PI round for 30 marks. A lot of our students would be joining SLS this year. In fact, a lot of our students across will be joining different law schools this year. And again, each college has its own strengths and advantages. Make an objective choice. Please drop it in the comment section. More colleges that you would want us to cover, make, say, like very detailed videos, placements, fees, eligibility, etc. We'll be more than happy to take this up. Hope this video was extremely helpful for you and will help you decide and take that call. Just will conclude on one suggestion. Not a lot of time is wasted in thinking what next. Instead, take a decision, commit yourself to it for the next 66 days. The worst that'll happen that on the 67th day, you'll realize this is not something that you would want to do. But the learnings from those 66 days, you will have a much clearer picture, a much objective picture on what next to be done. On that note, thank you so much We'll keep coming up with more insightful videos, and all the best.